Oh. Oh. Jesus, this is thirsty work, this is. Someone said, no one's here, but someone's giving a thumbs up. Thank you, whoever that was. Someone's here, 3 people are here, okay. 4 people. JJ95, good evening, Ed. No, evening, JJ, I meant, yeah. P8 1958. Good evening to you. Gavin Lunt, hiya from lockdown Liverpool. Thailand plays once. I just wish it was there. Yeah, well, good luck to you, mate. Yeah, well, good luck. It's not very nice being locked down anywhere, you know. So good luck to you. That's all I can say. Jay Smith, good evening. Randy Andy was a wholesome day one. Cheers, Stephen Williams. That was from, yeah. Oi, oi, Eddie, Dixie Normus, yeah. Good name. Okay. There is a better one than, you know, out there somewhere, but I think he pinched it from Monty Python. And Nomad Overseas, good evening, Eddie. Good day, Ed. Who's that? Mailbag, I've just booked Medellin. Yeah, well, Medellin's okay. You know, Colombia's come up in the chat before, and I have been there. But I think I've run out of steam because it came towards the end of my South American adventure, and I think I'd run out of steam a little bit. Okay. It's getting worse. DJ Trinity like to go. It's getting worse. Yeah, that's the obvious title for this one. It's getting worse. Everything's getting worse, man. Everything's. I'm in the UK right now. Up north, it's like a divided country. Up north, it sounds terrible. That chappie from Liverpool who just said that, you know, it's locked down. Manchester as well. It's a lot of controversy. It's you know, it's dreadful. It's not getting any better. It's getting worse. Andrew Johnson. Good evening, Freya. Andrew. I hope you're well as well. Oh, good. Always good to hear from you. Butterwin Bonnie, yo, good evening. Okay, good evening to you all. Well, it's nice to see 178 people here. So, what am I going to waffle on about this week? Well, to be honest with you, this live stream may not go on for a long time, because live streams tend to work best when you've got a good, solid subject to talk about, you know, that you can really get your teeth into. And at this moment in time, there isn't really a great deal to talk about. You know, there's not really a great deal of development, you know, with regards to when we can go back to Thailand or Cambodia. I hear Cambodia has opened, but you know, you've still got this horrendous deposit, and it's not the same as it was. You know, so there's not. It's been. I was doing a call in this. The title of this live stream, all quiet on the Southeast Asian front. But I think that would have gone over a lot of people's heads. Not everyone is a fan of old movies the way that I am. I could, of course, call it The Dirty Dozen, but I think that would sort of been a bit misleading and would have attracted the wrong viewers. Okay? So anyway, who's here? Peter Flynn. Yeah, okay. David Cook. Hi to you all. Flu season. Hey, Jose, yeah. Flu season will make it worse. The winter is upon us now. Isn't the winter the time when people get flus and they need the flu jab and you know, whatever? Jesus, this virus, it's getting worse. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. The north of England just seems to be having a really bad time. They're locking down left, right and centre up there. I suppose I'm a little bit fortunate because I live in the south of England. I live in a part of England where there's actually very little COVID, but we still, you know, no one can be complacent. There's very little, and I think I was watching a news report this week, and somebody from, you know, London, one of the political programs, actually held up the area where I live, the part of the country where I live, as an example, because, you know, we've got very little of it. So that's worth bearing in mind. I mean, I can only say for me, I'm working every day, I'm earning money. You know, I'm in a part of the country which doesn't seem to have a severe COVID problem. So I suppose I'm lucky in that way, you know, but I still want to get abroad and have fun in the sun. Okay, Ray B. Good evening. There. Made any plans yet for Mexico? Okay, well, let me talk about this because last week I was waffling on about Mexico. The Southeast Asian countries seem to be out of the equation for this winter. Mexico seems to be the country that is open to people, whatever their motivations are. You know, they don't want to say no to tourism. You never know. In times to come, we may look upon Mexico as the hero of all of this because they're the one country that, especially winter destination, that seems to be open without a problem. But I think most people know that Mexico has got a very severe problem with this COVID. It's a big country, it's a big population. I can't remember the details of the population. Somebody mentioned it today on a comment, but last week I was talking about Mexico and I've been, really getting enthusiastic about it. I've been watching lots and lots of YouTube videos on Mexico, and it looks like a terrific country. I've been there before, but fleetingly. But to actually spend time, maybe three or 4 months out there, it's a big country. It's got so much to offer. There looks like there's tons going on. There are all these YouTube videos made mainly by younger people. They look fantastic. So many little spaghetti western towns. I mean, I know the spaghetti westerns that we know and love weren't actually filmed in Mexico. They were filmed in the Canary Islands. But you know what I mean. Anyway, beautiful beaches, beautiful beach resorts, beautiful town city. It looks absolutely fantastic. And the more I watch these videos, the more enthusiastic I get about it. And I think, yeah, I mean, my adventurous days are a little bit. I'm getting a bit old to be boldly going where no man has ever gone before. I'd much rather head out to Southeast Asia and have a beer and a dirty massage. You know what I mean? But yeah, the more I watch these Mexico vlogs, the more I got really enthusiastic about it. But I received a mixed reaction from the idea of going to Mexico. A real mixed reaction. Because the fact is that a lot of people were going on about the high rates of COVID there. They've undoubtedly got a high rate of COVID there. And it's one of those things you never think it's going to happen to you personally. I was prepared to hell with all of that. I'm just going to go out there, psyched up, get on with it, get the old traveling spirit back again, and really do Mexico the way it should be done. A really full frontal adventure. But the more I think about it, and quite a lot of people have pointed it out, you should be concerned about the COVID rates there because they are very high. I seen a news report just a couple of months back where that was being held up as one of the worst ones. Maybe they're I don't know, maybe they're not telling the truth about the figures or whatever. But one thing I'd like to point out, I know a lot of you will have seen vlogs about Mexico. There are other vloggers, some really good vloggers, some really big vloggers who have done tours of Mexico, some limited tours, some longer tours, and they don't seem to have had a problem with either any of the dangers or any of the cartels or whatever, and they don't seem to have a problem with the COVID or whatever. But bear something in mind with regards to the virus. All of these vloggers that you may have seen, they are all significantly younger than me. And this is what I've been thinking about the last couple of days. If they're they could be 30 years old, they could be even 40 years old or 43 years old or whatever. That is still significantly younger than me. If they were to catch the virus, then they're likely to survive it. At my age, I'm in a high risk category. And if I did catch that virus, it could be, it could well be the end of me. One of those vloggers who was in Mexico, Bald and Bankrupt, very popular, huge channel. He did actually get that virus, not from Mexico, but he got it from, I think, was it Serbia that he got it? I don't know if he was skeptical before, but he got it, and he reported that he's seen people dying in the beds in front of him. He's managed to recover from that. But what I'm saying is that I am now at an age when I do need to be concerned about this virus, and also, of course, whether I could get properly insured for it. So I'm not booking the flight to Mexico just yet. The way things are looking now, I'm definitely going to be abroad somewhere beginning of January, maybe for 3 months. That's definitely on the cards for me. I'd love it to be Mexico, but we've got to see how things develop first of all. Got to see how things develop. And nomads overseas, here in Ireland, we have a new 6-week full lockdown kicking off at midnight tonight. It's not getting any better. Jesus, how many people, early this year, we thought this is going to come and go. I mean, we probably thought that by this time it'd all be done, dusted, over and done with, forgotten, put in the past like all the other viruses that we got, SARS, bird flu, and all the rest of it. Well, no, it's getting worse, man. It's getting worse. Pal55, hi Steffi, hi to you, mate. Dr. J, good to see you again too. Okay, Butter and Bunny. Butter and Bunny, I need this live stream. Please lift our spirit. I'd love to lift you. Google has, what is it with this phone? It's a Samsung phone. It's one of those Samsung and Delilah phones. You know what I mean? All of a sudden Google comes along and puts words into my mouth. I don't know if you heard that, but Google just appeared on the screen and told me, like, you mentioned something like you mentioned yoga. This is what I think of yoga. Did I mention the word yoga? Can you imagine me doing yoga? Christ almighty, I'd struggle to bloody stand up at my age. I can't even walk in a straight line. I'm usually pissed so much. Yoga, for Christ's sake. That's Google putting words in my mouth. Okay, let's see. I'll try and lift your spirits. I mean, we can all be miserable. The idea of me doing this live streams, man. The live stream, I'm not doing videos. The last video I've done was a few months ago. I'm doing these live streams every week simply because I want to keep in touch with people. I want to keep in touch. I've gone so my channel's on 35,000 subscribers now, which is a decent. That's good. I'm almost on 9 million views, which I'm really pleased about. And I was optimistic that I could really boost my channel this year with lots of travels, only to have the carpet pulled from underneath me. You know what I mean? So the only thing I can do right now is these weekly live streams. But I want to connect with people. I don't want to just disappear until all of this is over. I still want to connect with these people. And the viewing figures of my live streams have been pretty good. 411 in the chat now. When I upload these to YouTube, they tend to get, they can get 10,000. I had one live stream getting 16,000 views. Not that ain't bad. Johnny Smith here in Sheffield. Lockdown starts Saturday night. To whoever's going to be locked down and being miserable at this stage, because you've already had a lockdown before, if you're going to have another one, all I can say is my thoughts are with you. I don't know. In the words of another vlogger, if I can take the words from another vlogger, keep smiling. Andrew Johnson, any news on Mexico? Well, Andrew, the only thing about Mexico that I can say is that is a big country. And to begin with, I didn't have much enthusiasm on it. And then I looked on all of these wonderful, tons and tons of videos on YouTube. And my enthusiasm was certainly there. I thought, wow, I want to do a bit of that. But they've got severe rates of this virus. And, they've got severe rates of this virus. Now, the way I understand it, I can go to Mexico. I can book a flight to Mexico. I won't have to quarantine when I get there. But that is a country where I'd have to be concerned about this virus. So I'd have to think very, very carefully about that. Very carefully about that. And especially, another thing you've got to be, if you did actually meet any delightful senoritas out there, you would have to be concerned about close personal contact, because this virus is a very real thing and you just don't know who's got it. So, I'd still give Mexico a blast if the coast was clear, but I'm not going to book anything yet. I think if you're going to go anywhere, you just got to book the flight at the last minute, because things can change so frequently. I've had one flight cancelled. Do you know something? 2 weeks, if that flight had been okay, in a couple of weeks' time, I would have been in Thailand. When I booked that flight for Bangkok, I booked at the beginning of July for the beginning of November. And I would have been there by now in a couple of weeks' time, Oh, well, it's getting worse. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. Hey, Jose, a nomad overseas, things have gotten really bad. I'm talking a lot about Britain here because this is what I know. I'm sure in America and Australia, you're going through. I don't know. I don't really know if Australia is seeing high rates of lockdown. But I know that it's really terrible that you can't leave your own country. Who knows? In a few months' time, we not may not be able to leave our own country. I think Britain is we're going to become, I don't know, blacklisted from so many countries. John Mitch, good to hear from you, mate. Ireland, where I am, is total lockdown for the next 6 weeks. Who would have thought that it would come to this? I can't be the only one who thinks like this, but I actually last went to Thailand. I went out there beginning of a couple of times last winter time. I went out there beginning of February, already knowing that this virus existed. It was called Corona then. People say COVID now. But I just thought it's going to be one of those, it'll never happen to you scenarios. It's going to be here one day and gone the next. But it's just going on and on. My thoughts are where anyone is being locked down. What's that? Kazan, no lockdown here in Moscow, only masks required everywhere. I've never been to Russia, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have winter sunshine. Robert Williamson, good to hear from you, mate. Hope all's well. Let me see. What have I put down? What notes have I put down? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's it. You see that's it. Like I mentioned about Mexico. I mean, the virus is. The videos that I'm seeing look fantastic, but the virus is just creating black clouds over everywhere. Yeah, and the fact is, let's talk a little bit about value from your travels. If you travel to another country, travel's expensive. You've worked hard for that travel. You've looked forward to it. You've planned. You spend your money. You're investing your money in that travel. When you go out there, you want to have a damn good time. You want to get value for your money. And the fact is, at this moment in time, you're not going to get full value, are you? You're just not going to get it. I've seen vids of everywhere that I've looked at that are up to date videos, whether it's Mexico or whether it's even the Canary Islands, which seem to be open. That's quite a pleasant place to spend the winter time. So you never know. I might have to settle for that in the new year for a few months. We'll see about that. But nothing is what it should be. When you spend your money, you're going to want to have a value for money. You're still going to be paying the same price probably for hotels and flights and food and all the rest of it. But it's not going to be the same. You are not getting what you were hoping for from that traveling experience or from that holiday. So this is, I can't put it any better than that. I mean, it's, let me just have a little look at the chat here. Okay. Who's this? Max Middleton, if you look at COVID in Mexico, Ed, almost 50% is in Mexico City. The rest of the country is open. You're doing good. Yeah, that's worth bearing in mind. That's worth bearing in mind. I honestly, I could travel it for 3 months through Mexico. There's so many tons of things that I could get that old traveler spirit reignited again, and I'd love to do it. But I am worried about that virus. I am worried about that virus. I wasn't so much worried about it before, but as for Thailand, well, Christ Almighty, what can I say about Thailand? It's the influx of the introduction of tourism is moving at a snail's pace. What was it yesterday? This STV, it sounds like a bloody sexual disease. And at this STV, special tourist visa, I heard that not one person applied for it to begin with. Was that Phuket? Was that the Phuket one where no one applied for it? But of the STV, apparently the first tourist did arrive in Thailand yesterday. All 41 of them, Chinese people, all 41 of them. 41. Whoa, well, well, it's a start, isn't it? 41 tourists into Thailand. It's moving at a snail's pace, but these things take time. 41 tourists now, and you never know. In a couple of months' time, might have another 41, and then there's the hotels have to be quarantined. Hotels have to be sorted for these people. A couple of bars have to be open for these people. A couple of restaurants as well, yeah, and yeah, you never know. But at this rate, this snail's rate, we could all finally be back in Thailand by the year 2095. It could take a long time. These things don't happen overnight. Tracy Becker, are you really a woman? What a stupid thing to say. Okay, so you having blokes in this chat anyway. Tracy, yeah, but Tracy Becker, it's all good to the effort. Nothing to do with COVID. Google the Great Reset. Okay, I wouldn't pay any attention. I wouldn't pay any attention to Google right now. Just a couple of minutes ago, they wanted to tell me, about yoga. Right in the middle of this live stream. I didn't even mention yoga. DJ 23, Eddie, where did you get the shirt? Pattaya. That's where I got it. I'm missing the place. Turkey, yeah, Turkey is open, but with Turkey, they don't have winter sunshine. But Turkey could be in the cards. I know Turkey. I had a property there for many, many years. It's always worth a bit, even in the winter time. It's a lot of good people. Istanbul is a different kettle of fish. What is Istanbul in the winter? Apart from the fact that it was freezing, it was snowing when I was there. Imagine the Blue Mosque covered in snow. Somebody who a Facebook friend of mine, Mark, he went to Istanbul, but I did have a conversation with him about the. I'm not going to mince words. You get some sly bastards in Istanbul. I'm sorry, but you do. They see you as hi, my friend. Where are you from? And you ignore them, and then the bastards follow you. You know what I mean? They're trying to lead you into a tourist trap where you can be stung for thousands of dollars. It does happen. You want girls? You're the single man, my friend. Oh yeah, I take you where you get girls from. Next thing you know, they're whipping your credit card and billing you for £2,000. But that's Istanbul and maybe some of the big cities. But if you go in the south of Turkey, places like Fethiye, some real good people, some real good Turkish people there. I like it. So I wouldn't rule Turkey out. For a few months, I could easily go there. Yeah, it's good. And also, like the Turkish currency is really weak now, so you probably will get very good value there right now. But but a lot of people think Turkey has winter sunshine. It doesn't. It's warmer in the south than the UK would be. You can still wear a t-shirt in the daytime most days, but it goes very cold in the nighttime. I mentioned this to somebody the other day. The thing when you get to this time of year, or maybe towards November time, or any time in the winter, you still can be wearing the shorts and t-shirts in the daytime in the southern place in Turkey. But as soon as the night comes, freezing. Massive difference in day and night temperature. Shorts and t-shirt in the daytime, you need a bloody big overcoat in the nighttime. So it's worth bearing that in mind about Turkey. But yeah, Turkey's a good country. Good country. Okay. JR, remember you panicking to get home? JR, remember you panicking to get home early this year? Yeah, I remember it well, mate. How can I possibly forget it? Okay, let's see. Cancun is the place. Been there, done that. I didn't really like it. Okay, don't go to Mexico. You're too. Visage Day. Don't go to Mexico. You're too old, Eddie. Okay, am I? You think so? Okay, well, I'm no spring chicken, but no, I don't know. I can still travel. I've still got the traveller's spirit in me, yeah. Kit, who's on the dole? You are. Go and get a job, mate. I've got a job. I work every day when I'm here. Okay. Philippines may open early March. Could open early March. The winter's almost over then. It's almost over. I don't know. I mean, I'm getting really wound up and I'm hearing about. I'm on this Facebook. I don't really do that much Facebook. Facebook is something that you use on your mobile phone. You grab hold of it. When you're potting about. When you got a spare 5 minutes, you tune into Facebook when. Just when you're bored and just to see if anyone's got anything interesting to say. But the fact is that I'm with I joined this Facebook group. It's Pattaya based. It's good group. And some of the people who watch this YouTube channel, are on that group. But God Almighty, people are sending pictures of those bikinis clad go-go dancers in Pattaya and in places like Soy 6 and the go-go bars, and these beautiful Thai girls wearing bikinis and oh my God, I'm looking at these beautiful pictures. They go, I could be having a bit of "I was your father" were there. What has happened? What has life become when I can't even go to Thailand and have a bit of rumpy pumpy? Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's see. Travel and more. Mexico is fine. Mexico City and Tijuana are bad, but most places are fine. Okay, Tijuana, right. Now, Mexico is a big country. It's a big country. Now, the place I've been to is in Cancun and Playa del Carmen. Tijuana is right at the other end of the country, isn't it? It's near the American border. That's a hell of a way. So if I did go to Mexico, I'd have to plan the journey. It's a big country. 3 months, 4 months. You could probably take 3 years exploring that country. Who's this? Mexico fan, yeah. Okay. Who's that? Ed, who cares? You're too old, mate. Mongering honest. Yeah. Honest? You're saying that you're an honest troll? I didn't think there was any such thing. Okay. Been Mexico twice. It's value for money, all inclusive, but it's not Thailand. Yeah, that's right. Nowhere's Thailand. Nowhere's Thailand. Nowhere is. I mean, those Southeast Asian countries. Cambodia is a great little country, but it's not as good as it was because it hasn't got a proper beach resort anymore, thanks to the Chinese. Laos, Vietnam, they're all fantastic countries. Philippines, but yeah, you're right. There's nowhere like Thailand. And to be honest with you, elsewhere in the world. Okay, who's this? Traveller Pete, yeah? Traveller Pete, okay. Thailand bound, good to hear from you. Break out the pork pies, mate. You never know. I've got the speckled them. Pork pies could be coming up very, very soon. And I've also got a special treat tonight. And thanks for that super chat, whoever that was. Like I say, this is a fairly short live stream, simply because there's not a great deal happening this week. I said this at the beginning. I know you really need a good, solid subject to talk about. But let me just mention something in case I forget it. I'm not finished these live streams. In next week's live stream, there is a solid subject that I wanted to talk about, and I'd love the feedback from people next week. It's a big subject. Not one that's going to relate to everyone, but would be of interest to many people, and would be of interest to me. But I'm not going to reveal what that is. But next week I want to talk about a big subject. I mean, a really big major subject. So I've been thinking about it the last few days, but I'll keep that till next week. North Coast, a Liverpool pensioner has died and left all his worldly possessions to complete strangers, although they were the original owners. Well, yeah, good luck to him. I've got to think about that one. I heard a story once where some rich bloke, some millionaire, died and left all his money to Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'm not religious, but for Christ's sake, I can grow my hair long, if necessary. Richard, Cancun is really for partying youngsters. Yeah, it seemed that way to me, but Playa del Carmen is much more likable. David Griffiths, I'm not going to get into politics. We're not really, not with Britain or Thailand. I'm certainly not going to do any of that. Okay, so let me see. I'm gonna go and grab another beer in a moment. Chuck Renard, Panama is good. Hot girl, try Gator. Something. I was looking at Panama. Some videos there. I've never actually been there. I've been to Costa Rica, which I thought was a bit overrated. Nicaragua, which was so quirky and so different. So absolutely different. I mean, I was in a town called Granada, which I absolutely loved. I stayed in a private house with a Nicaraguan family And that was so quirky and psychedelic and cool. I love Nicaragua. Belize is very, very Caribbean. And where else did I go? It was somewhere else I can't remember, but I never actually made it to Panama. Yeah, that could be. Well, the thing is, at this moment in time, can you really plan anything? I could say, like, in the new year, I want to go to Panama. I'll go to Mexico. Things can change within 5 minutes. This is an exceptional time, an exceptionally bad time right now at this moment in time. No one knows what's going to happen. All the experts in the world don't know what's going to happen in a couple of months' time. And that's why, I was ready to book my flight. Let me mention something about that flight to Mexico, which I haven't booked. I booked the one to Bangkok, which is since cancelled. This week, I was really geared up. I could have even done it, for as soon as next month. But I'm looking at beginning. I'm gonna stress this. I'm gonna stay here until beginning of January, after the Christmas, beginning of January. But I was itching, to book that flight to Mexico. Just to have something in the bag, because I don't feel complete if I haven't got anything in the bag. But somebody did mention something very, very important in some of the comments. The flights that I was looking at were all indirect flights. They were good flights with Air France, I think, and Iberia, whatever. They were all good flights. But when you're doing an indirect flight, you're talking about 4 flights overall. The 2 to get there and the 2 to come back, right? And in this climate, with all these countries having so many problems, it'll only take one of those flights to cancel, and then it'll knacker up the whole thing. If you're going to travel anywhere, you are far better with a direct flight. But I didn't see any for Mexico that were anything approaching good value. This is what happened with my Bangkok flight. It wasn't a direct flight. It was with Etihad. Yeah, it was with Etihad. So basically, it was Heathrow to wherever Etihad is, changeover, and then from Etihad to Bangkok. It was that second flight that had cancelled, which meant that the whole thing was no good to me. So this is the thing about booking indirect flights. It's not a good time to be doing it. It's so. Thanks whoever mentioned that to me. Yeah, okay. Let's see. It's just a wait. It's just a waiting game. Absolutely. Okay. Let's see. The real deal, Holyfield. If you're going to Mexico, please check out Hong Kong Gentlemen's Club in Tijuana. It's the best strip club brothel in the world. I've been hearing quite a lot about this on my research. A few people have mentioned it, and I didn't really. I don't think I've actually seen any videos, but I've seen the facade of them outside. But I've seen another video that said some of those places at this moment in time are actually closed. Maybe maybe someone can tell me different. But anyway, thanks for that super chat, mate. Anyway. Traveller Peter, got my flight to Thailand, £550 one way, 17 days quarantine though. Got my COVID just COA, just waiting for my PCR test next week. Good luck to you, mate. Good luck to you, mate. I wish you the best of luck. That's all I can say. I'm going to be back in a moment. I'm going to get myself a nice fresh can of speckled hen. Okay, we are back. We are back from outer space. I just walked in to find you here with that sad look upon your face. Speckled hen, beautiful, lovely and cold. Oh, just get in there. Get in there, boy. Oh, I like it already. I like it already. Okay. Abu Dhabi, yeah, Abu Dhabi, yeah, that's where it is. Dave Griffiths, okay, Eddie, last series. There was a popular vlog on today about Thai's top bars. Um, yeah, I know the one. Yeah, I know that. I haven't seen it yet, but I will see it. Looks bloody good. The last one that he done was, the ones that are just closed, including the beloved beer garden. Let's see. Do I have a favourite of five bars? I don't always bear something in mind. I travel to other places. I travel to Vietnam, Cambodia, other places. I've been to the Philippines and whatever. I'm not really a solidly Pattaya based person, so I leave that to the people who are really experts on Pattaya. When you say top five bars, can you include dirty massage parlours? Well, some of them serve booze. I can get a beer there. Okay. Mr. G-Man, 2804, Norwich. Yeah, okay. Norwich, okay. You're going to Norwich, your neck is off ready when I come up. Right, I've got a number of comments to make about that. Now, I've never been to Norwich, but it's a large part of England which I've never been to. But whenever I hear the word Norwich, the first thing that springs to mind, and this is just totally being honest, it was the 1970s quiz show, The Sale of the Century. It used to begin by the commentators saying, "And now from Norwich, it's the quiz of the week." The Sale of the Century. Well, that's the only thing I remember. Norwich for, and the chappie's name was Nicholas Parsons. Okay, where have you gone, mate? Nicholas Parsons. You said something about neck. Jesus, that word "knickers" is such a sexy word. Oh my God, that's such a sexy word. That is. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Carl Foster, Subic Bay open for business? Really? I was in Subic Bay less than 2 years ago, and it's bloody. Didn't like it at first, but it really grows on it, and there's a lot of good stuff in Subic Bay. Some of those go-go bars, and lovely, lovely ladies there in Subic Bay. I really grew quite fond of that place. Well, as far as I know, the Philippines is still locked down. A friend of mine, his missus went out to the Philippines to visit family, and she's still there now. As far as I know, it's still locked down. I've a chopper. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. Now, did somebody mention pork pies? Well, look what we've got here. Look at what I've got here. This is a starter, by the way. The main meal is still in the oven. Now, somebody said last week something that I really needed to know, that pork pies, you got to have mustard with them. Bloody good. Pork pies, couple of olives, go lovely with speckled hen. Sorry, but I've got to eat the rest of that one. That is so damn good. Melton mulberry, okay. Oh, that's so crispy. We're seeing all kinds of exciting things in the chat. Nicholas Parsons, yeah, that was an. He lived to was about 150, didn't he? He only died recently. That chappie. Okay, Kipax, really? Am I hammered? Lovely stuff. Take it nice and easy. Anthony Owens, I had to hear your ex-fishmonger girlfriend's got COVID-19. Oh, well, she has my deepest sympathies, okay? I thought the fishy smell was bad enough. Dave Griffiths, my first ever time here was in a restaurant in Norwich. It was good too, okay? Well, it must have been memorable, otherwise you wouldn't be mentioning it. John Richard, Eddie, are you planning on a flight in Europe before going to an exotic place? Am I going to an exotic place? Is anyone going anywhere right now at this moment in time? I mean, I don't know. I just think, you know, the whole spirit of travel and just about everything now has just been. I think for most people, the last thing anyone's thinking about it. So Europe, I've said this before, is a fantastic continent. It's a marvelous continent. But you know, there's a couple of reasons. First, that I don't go there over winter. Firstly, because it's expensive. If you travel for a long period of time, it costs lots of money, and also it's not got winter sunshine. Even Spain doesn't really have winter sunshine, or Greece. You know, so in the winter time, I just want to go to somewhere where I can be in shorts and t-shirts and sit at a pavement cafe or a beach and drink icy cold beer. Anyway, let's see. Richard, Subic is also a good area for diving. I assume you're talking in the water. Andrew Johnson, I live near Norwich, a great place. I'm sure there's lots of what's his name? Alan Parsons. Is that right? Steve Coogan's. You know, he does Alan Partridge. That's the one. Alan Partridge. He does his fake radio show for Norwich. I'm sure that's a lovely place. Isn't that where the Norfolk Broads are? Or? Okay. Thailand bad. I feel like I'm in a pub with a lot of mates talking about Thailand. Anyone else feel like this? Well, I feel like that. Thailand bound, Peter. I'd tell you what. Check out Peter's channel, Thailand bound. He does a fantastic one that he done on what was it again? The balloon chasers. That'd be hysterical. You know, some of that we're talking about those tight bastards who retire abroad and haven't really got the money to retire abroad, and they end up scrounging off others. I thought that was really funny. I thought it was really, really funny. Miles out, Ambient Qatar. Have you ever considered the Dominican Republic? I have considered it, but I was off put when I seen all those videos of those very, very delectable ladies with colossal big arses. And I've got to say, I'm not really a fan of big asses. You know, I mean, some fellas like big women. They like big women, don't they? Yeah, let me tell you something. The other week, I watched for the umpteenth time one of my favorite. Well, it's quite simply one of the greatest movies ever made. A film called The Italian Job. You know, I think it was late 1960s. It was made. I seen it, you know, half a century ago. Absolutely fantastic film. Michael Caine, minis, you know, lovely Italian scenery. You know, it starts off with a wonderful song sung by Matt Monro. On days like these. Fantastic, absolutely magnificent. But that movie, The Italian Job, also features none other in a rare acting role of Benny Hill. He actually features in that as a nutty professor. And Benny Hill, this nutty professor, he has a thing about big women. He likes big women. You know, he was caught fondling in this home where this mad professor lives. He was caught fondling inappropriately the matron, and you know, he sits there in the chair. Well, I like big women. You know, think about matron. She's big. You know. I mean, some fellas are like that. Some fellas like big 20-stone women. They like that sort of stuff. Me, I kind of prefer them svelte. You know, smooth. I'll tell you what. There's certain countries where, you know, there are women who don't have an ounce of fat on them. They're so lean. And one of them, and I've said this before, the most underrated, beautiful women on this planet have to be the Bulgarians. They are gorgeous women, and they are so lean. skinny, not an ounce of fat on them. And when you go to Bulgaria, you know, you see these Bulgarian girls walking around and they're wearing tight leggings, and you know, I tell you what, I'm getting vulgar now. Yeah, but Bulgarian girls are beautiful, but what was the subject that we were talking about? Big? No, we were talking about the Dominican Republic, where yeah, on this video, all these women with, you know, big bums. It's not really for me. Not for me. No, I've got a couple of pillows. That's good enough for me. Scuba Tom in Cabo now. It's a good place. That's a place in Mexico, right? I've never heard of that one before. But anyway, Bo de Zephyr, have you ever worn a pork pie hat, Eddie? No, but I've worn a trilby or a fedora, as some people call it. I wore an Australian cowboy hat. So what's the big issue? I mean, you know, that's it. Never wore a pork pie hat. Oh, Martin Trevor, I can now see two dogs behind you in the clouds. Two dogs behind there. Yeah, really, really. So I'm not entertaining, am I? I might just put some traffic lights up there. There's a red traffic light, and now it's gone amber, and I can now see a green one. Okay, there you go. I thought it was being entertaining. Okay. Daniel Mills, have you got more views than Talk Radio's current live stream? Thank you. Listen, I really, really, really do appreciate the support over the last few months. I haven't travelled for you know, seems like last time I travelled, I think bloody was Harold Wilson Prime Minister. It seems that long ago to me. But the fact is that, you know, I've run out of videos to make, and we're all depressed. Everyone's got problems right now. We've all got problems. This virus is going nowhere. And all I can do is a weekly live stream right now. Tonight, I was in two minds about whether to do this live stream, simply because there's not much happening out there. There's not much information coming from our favourite countries of Vietnam and Thailand and wherever. But I still want to do these live streams. I still want us all to just get together and just talk, because we're all having a miserable time now. And if we can make each other smile, and if we can make each other... Do you know what? I even made somebody go out and buy a 4-pack of speckled hen the other day. Somebody on Facebook messaged me to say, look what I've got, Ed. 4-pack of speckled hen. I hope you're enjoying it, man. I hope you're watching right now. Cheers. Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. I've got a pizza in the oven, by the way. This here is a starter. Well, nice little green olive there. Oh, I'm getting ready to see olives, whatever next, Bloody good stuff. I have a pizza. This is the starter, this is. I'm really becoming a real galloping gourmet now, aren't I? Pork pies for starters, pizza for the main course. How about that? Lovely stuff. What are we talking about? A nomads overseas. Any Scouser brandy on the horizon? I'm run out of Scouser brandy simply because somebody is buying up all the big bottles, and there's only the little bottles available. But I must admit that 3 barrels is really good stuff. Kristen Vixen, I'm in Tanzania, no COVID. Well, that's good, isn't it? Or are they just saying that? Yeah, well, that's good. For Tanzania, I haven't been to that one. The only African country I've been to is Ethiopia, which was interesting. Tanzania. So I believe that's very good if you like wildlife and all that kind of stuff. I think isn't that where Freddie Mercury was born? Stephen Boldy, my cousin loves big women, real growlers. Each to their own, man. Each to their own. You know. I like them svelte. Okay. Bob the Snob. Eddie, no wonder you're built like a space opera, okay? Juan Carlos, better street food, Thailand or Vietnam? Well, they're all good if you like street food. I mean, personally, I like to go and sit in a cafe. You know, I like a little bit of reassurance that this is actually, it's actually, past the hygiene test. Seafood, I keep meaning to try a little bit more street food, but it's got to be hot and it's got to look good before I try. Thailand or Vietnam. This reminds me, when I bung my pizza in the oven, and it's still there now. It's probably burnt to a crisp by now. One of my favourite Vietnamese bar girls. Met her in Nha Trang, some years ago. Not on my last visit, but on the one before that. We all look back on our wonderful ladies that we met in bars in Vietnam, Cambodia, and whatever. But that reminded me, this one was Pizza Girl. Beautiful bar girl, absolutely fantastic. And met her so many times and brought her back to my hotel so many times. But if you think all Vietnamese girls, they're all crazy about Vietnamese food. She was crazy about pizza. Every time, I say, you come back to my hotel, yeah. I want pizza. Let's buy it's supposed to pay in the bar fine. Let's bring a bloody pizza back to the hotel as well. Crazy about it. Whenever I look back at it, I always think of her as Pizza Girl. I like to give, my old ladies that I've met, my old Asian ladies, some names. One of my Asian ladies, whenever I look back, I always think of it as Dolly Parton. I think you can guess why I called it that. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, okay. So, look, come on, that's a good joke. It's an old one, but it's a good one. Phil Roberts. I remember my first ever full day in Thailand was woken up by a Thai woman screaming and banging on my hotel door. In the end, it got so loud, I just got up and let her out the room. Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. The oldies are the best. Okay. What are some foreign languages coming up here? Okay, Roger Tickler. I like a good massage with sexy labour. Yeah. Does he tickle your fancy? Does he, Roger? Not for me, mate. No, not for me. Okay, John, can we have dancing girls on your live stream? For now, I keep meaning to. There's no dancing girls, okay, unless I sneak me mobile phone into a bloody strip club, and there's not many of those open where I live. But I was thinking of maybe doing a few outdoor live streams. But what this is about, this is midweek. I've been regularly doing these on a Wednesday. I don't actually announce it because there may come a time when I simply haven't got the energy or I haven't got anything to talk about. I'm amazed that we've got to nearly an hour now because there's bugger all to talk about this week. But I've still managed to get through an hour. But next week's live stream, there is something to talk about. Now, I'm not going to mention it now because I've been doing it the last few days. I've got to do a little bit of research. But there's a major subject that no one else is talking about right now at this moment in time, and I want to talk about it. I've been thinking about it in the last few days, so next week I'll plenty to talk about next week. It's a real subject that I want to talk about next week. Anyway, Paul Nolan, good morning from Australia, okay? Pal 55 need a wide angle camera for Eddie's dancing girls. Carl Foster, pot noodle band in Brunei. Do you know something? I've never been to Brunei. I've been to Malaysia. And it's someone else in that region. Where else did it? Someone else in Malaysia. I don't. Is Brunei part of it? But what I heard about that guy who runs Brunei, I've no plans to go there, so I can say this. But I heard years ago he was one of the richest men in the world at one time. I heard that he had an obsession for KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. And when he travels with all his massive entourage, staying obviously the most luxurious 5-star hotels throughout the world, what he does is he loves KFC. And he wants KFC ordered round the clock. But he doesn't want it cold, he wants it nice and hot. And he just wants it to be there whenever he wants it to be there. And the story that I heard is that whenever he travels, he has massive amounts of KFC delivered every hour. Every hour he has massive amounts of KFC delivered between him and his entourage round the clock. That doesn't take a genius to figure out that there's only so much KFC you can eat. So 90% of this probably goes in the bin. But you know, he obviously can afford all that KFC. I mean, if you can afford that much KFC, it must be loaded. What is that? Northcote, the Sultan of... Oh, really? Did he? That's incest. That's incest. That's terrible, that is. Oh, well. Bintman, how's the holiday plans? Bintman 1. Hey, Ed, how's the holiday plans going? I don't know. Down the toilet? Should we say they're going down the toilet? Yeah, that's about right. Hey, Ed, I hear the Thailands will open again. Will you be heading over? Sound like a chicken breed. Okay. Maybe. Okay. We're coming up to an hour now. Now, I said at the beginning this is going to be a shorty. It's not going to be going on very, very long. Simply because there's no real developments to talk about this week. You know, I've tried a little bit. But next week, there is something I just what I've been thinking about the last couple of days. Now, you know, I'll tell you next week. Okay? Eddie, if you put up David Town, Eddie, you put up a 14 days quarantine in Thailand is good. We've spoke about this before, but you know, that 14-day quarantine, it's not just the 14 days, it's also all the time, you know, you see it coming and you're dreading it. And when you come out of that 14-day quarantine, is it going to be the same? I mean, I don't think it is going to be the same. I mean, after spending all that money and going all that way and being trapped like a prisoner and being treated like a leper for 14 days in a hotel, when you finally come out, you will want something really, really special. And is there anything special out there right now? Is there anything special? It's not going to be what it is. I think we just gotta keep our heads down. Listen, you know, I travel so many. I love to travel to so many countries, but one thing that's not going to happen this year, when I do make it abroad, and I will. It'll be after Christmas. But my usual border hopping. Anyone who's watched my channel knows that I'll think nothing of heading out to Thailand. I'll spend a while in Pattaya, and then I'll go and get a flight to Taiwan and travel around, and I'll come back to Pattaya, and then I'll head off to Vietnam. I like border hopping. You know, I've done that for many, many years, and it's maybe it's because I get bored in the one place, and there's so many places that you've got to see. But the fact is that it's border hopping is going to be out of the equation this year, definitely. You know, if I make it abroad, then you just got to pick one country, and if it's the right country, then stay put. You know, border hopping is out. You know, a lot of things are out this year. Okay, what's that? What's that burning smell? Are you conserving my pizza? I'm going to finish soon. I'm going to finish. Actually, I've actually bought a special pizza. It's a pizza special. I bought it from the co-op. Yeah, well, they call it. I mean, is it physically possible to get anything special from the co-op? But nevertheless, they call it special. Okay. Pizza coming up. Okay. You want to see this pizza? It's half a pizza. Okay. Pizza coming up in a moment. Okay, here we go. Now this is a quarter of the extra special. I forget I've still got the box somewhere, but the extra special co-op deluxe super duper one time only exquisite pizza. It's got all the things that pizza. I can't even. I'm too pissed. I can't even tell you what's in it. What do you think of pizza? one of the most famous meals. To me, I have a mixed reaction about pizza. It's not really a meal. It's more of a big calorie snack. It's probably got more calories than most big meals, but it's not really a meal. Go on, grab a bit of that there. Let's see what we think of this. Mmm. It's nice. It's not great. It's not wonderful. It's not a rocket to the moon. It's not even Halley's Comet, but it's all right. Okay. Come on, you bastard. There you go. Just shove a bit of that in there, okay? There we go. Mmm. It's going down well. Fills a hole. I wouldn't say there's anything actually special about it. I don't know, I might just give you a review about that one. It's the first time I'd tasted that, but it's the super duper extra special, once in a lifetime, you must try this before you die pizza. And it's okay, it's going down well. Okay, fire, okay. Pizza. Surprise gifts. Do you know what? Considering I started on this saying it's not going to last long this live stream because it's bucket all to talk about. I'm keeping going. There's just about, there has been over 500 in the chat. Okay, let's see. Let's have a look at the chat. You won't be getting into Asia unless 14-day quarantine and vaccine. You know, that 14-day quarantine. I had a 4-month ticket to Thailand, which is now being cancelled. I haven't cancelled it, they have. But that 14 days quarantine, I thought I could put up with that. It's simply because I was planning on going out there for 4 months. Geez, even if you sacrificed out to, what was it, 17, 18 weeks, a couple of weeks out of that amount, it's still something I just wouldn't want to do. And I think that quarantine, I can't see anyone really, really, really being prepared to do that, being stuck in a hotel prison, being treated like a leper. I wouldn't want to do that. It would have been an experience, but an experience that I just didn't want, I want good experiences, not bloody bad ones. I think as long as that quarantine is the rule, I don't think anyone's gonna want to do it. The 14-day quarantine and the 147 other hoops that they jumped to the moment is long term. Okay. Let's see now. I've gone over an hour now. Anyway, I've waffled on. Not the most exciting live stream, but I'm going to pour a little bit of speckled hen here. I really, really do appreciate you all coming along. Like I said, I've run out of videos some months ago. I'm not traveling right now, but I'm thinking positive. I've been doing these live streams about once a week for the last few months. People have been tuning in. Think of me as your midweek late night radio host. The difference being that you can actually see the ugly bastard. You know what I mean? We've got to come together and sort together. We're all having problems. This is a terrible, terrible, terrible time for us all. It's all the time we'd rather forget. There's never been a year. Like, we can go on forever, but it's getting worse. It's not getting better. I hope people in America and other countries, Australia, where people are not allowed to leave the country, they're very much locked inside their own country. Australia is probably a great country. You've probably got beautiful beaches this time of year, but the idea of being not unable to go where you want to go, it's a terrible time for everyone, and I can't really put it into any more words than that. What are we going to be doing? Are we all going to be miserable? One thing about this little YouTube channel that I've got, I really enjoy this channel. I enjoy the support from everybody. I enjoy everyone tuning in every week. And also when I upload to YouTube, I get some good viewing figures. because I'm not traveling right now, I don't want to just disappear. That's it. I've run out of video, so I'll just disappear. I don't want to do that. I want to stay connected with people, okay? I really want to stay connected with people. So what I'm going to do, it's late night on a Wednesday. It's late night on a Wednesday night. I'm going to say thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Next week, I've got something that I really want to talk about, so tune in for that one. Let's see. Don't worry, the pizza's okay. The smoke alarm hasn't gone off. You know, everything's just fine and dandy. The speckled hen is still cold. Okay, listen, let me just have a little... Let's see. Thailand bound, you like the co-op? I like the co-op as well. It's all right. You know, some people don't like it, but it's better than what they say. Okay, listen. Tons of comments here. Listen, if I've waffled on so much and I haven't managed to get to your comments. Okay, what's that? Ian UK. My advice is slide into 4 pieces because 6 probably too much. There is a video, isn't it? It's a girl. It's this gobby girl. I think it's all stage, but she's her boyfriend divides the pizza, and he divides it into 6 pieces. Oh no, sorry, he divides it into 8 pieces, and she says, I can't eat that. He says, well, no, you can eat a whole piece. And he says, no, because it's an 8 piece, I can only eat 6. He said, but it's the same pizza, isn't it? No, but it's 8 pieces, and I can only eat 6. Well, think about it, you know, it's a bit crazy, but think about it. Thanks for that super chat. Who was that exactly? Dennis Ballon. Yeah, okay, thank you, Dennis Ballon. Really appreciate that anyway. Hope all's well. I hope all's well. I hope all's well in all of those countries. Canada, I know there's people who watch this from Canada, Australia, America, wherever. I hope all's well. And, you know, that's all I can say. I can't say any more than that. I'm sure Canada's a beautiful country. I'd love to see it. I'd really love to see it. Okay, I'm going to wrap things up now. I said it was going to be a quick live stream, but it's gone on and on and on a bit. It's had this live stream's had speckled hen, it's had pork pies, all the usual stuff. But you know what they say in those old black and white horror movies? A good cast is worth repeating. Okay, speckled hen, pork pies, even a bit of pizza, and steady Eddie. Okay, what more can you possibly want? Listen, guys, let's keep thinking positive. Let's keep looking forward to better times, even though, you know, negative is staring us all in the face. Let's keep thinking positive, okay? I'll see you next week. I'll say thanks for watching. Cheers. Have a great week. And let's keep our chin up, okay? Cheers. See you next week, guys.